competitive analysis, is it same as market research?
Not necessarily. They are, parts of it are similar, but then when we say market research, we are trying to understand the viability of the idea
Okay.
and understand that the idea will be a success in the end, and understand that the user actually needs that solution to a particular problem. Whereas when it comes to competitive analysis, we are just trying to get a feel of where the sector and the industry falls. For example, in terms of healthcare, we are trying to understand where the overall healthcare industry is in India, because geography also matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, they are similar in certain ways, but they are also very different.
And how is market research different than user research?
Okay. When it comes to market research, primarily the stakeholders do it, or they hire an agency to do it for them.
Okay.
What they're trying to understand there is if their idea is actually viable. They're trying to understand if the users actually are going to appreciate the particular solution to a problem, because some of the problems, they might not require a solution in a certain way. So so that is what is normally done in market research. User research is quite different from market research, because we are actually focusing on the user behaviors, or what the expectations of the users are after the idea has been decided and has been decided to be put into implementation.
Okay, so now the team is working on it. The project is ongoing. Discussing with the stakeholder and the client. So who is the owner of this project in this team? Who is the point of contact with the client? Is it a designer or the coder, or there is a separate product manager who just concentrates on managing the team for the based on the feedback or the ideas of the client?
To answer your question, right, I would say the team is the owner of the project.
Okay.
I would not say an individual is the owner of the project. However, different people could be focusing on different things.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, the team is going to come together to make sure that the project is delivered on time with the quality that is expected. If it comes to design, usually the interaction designers and the user UI designers are the ones that are having discussions with the stakeholders. In parallel, the project manager is always in the meetings to make sure that we are still meeting the timelines, and we are meeting the expectations of the stakeholders. And when it comes to development, the development lead along with this team takes the calls with the stakeholders to make sure that the work is presented to them and also get their feedback in parallel. But the design team also gets involved at times when they see a problem and they need design expertise to solve certain constraints and issues that they face while developing the project. And the vice versa also works sometimes, because the designers can be very aggressive, or they could come up with really innovative and creative ideas, but technology might not be supporting those ideas at times, or
Yeah.
the timelines might have to be extended to put those ideas into reality, right? So the development team also gets involved in the initial phases of design to just make sure, just to do the reality check.
Yeah. So since we are talking about development, so it's really important for any product to have the development team and the design team on the same page, and it's really important for the design team to convey their vision to the development team. How does Divami take care of that?
So some projects we get where they ask for both design and development, but there are also a lot of projects that we get which are primarily design centric. So once we are done with the designs, to explain, after we are done with the interaction designs, we do get them reviewed by the stakeholders, and if the development team is not, the integral part of Divami and it's an external development team, we also run the wireframes or the prototypes with them to make sure that they understand the vision of the designs there, and they don't miss out the design spirit. Now, after that, we also work on the documentation. There's a lot of documentation that we give along with the designs, which kind of explains the the spirit of the design, why we did it in a certain way, how the development team should take care of it, what are the expectations, and how do we handle the edge cases. So everything is documented in the design document that we share with the development team. Having said that, once the design phase is done, whenever the designs are ready to be implemented, we, even though the development team is not sitting with us and it's an external development team, we try to work very closely with them, and we do UX review for them wherever it is applicable. Some
Yeah.
of them, it is an ongoing engagement. Some of them, they usually, after the entire implementation is done, we do approach them and ask if they would like us to do the UX review for them. And apart from the UX review, we also help them out with user testing, just to make sure that the spirit of the design, or the vision of the stakeholder, as well as the expectations of the user, are met even in the implementation phase.
So by documentation, I understand that it's a bridge between the designer and the developer that needs to be filled. There are a lot of softwares that have come up recently, like InVision, and there's prototyping tool like Marvel, and there's Zeppelin. So by documentation, do you mean using these software, or you make a document and there's an extension of a PDF or a Word document?
So we primarily use InVision for presentations. However, for
Right.
documentation, we used wireframing tools like OmniGraffle, Balsamic,
Yeah.
Sketch, because we honestly believe in very detailed documentation. What we have realized over the last few years of our journey is that when we are explaining the design spirit to the development team, they understand, but actually while they're implementing it, they have very simple questions, but they need answers to them.
Yeah.
So that the design is implemented as it is expected to be implemented. So to bridge the gap and to avoid iterations and a lot of discussions, we try to include as much as possible into the documentation.
So how did you transition from software development to design?
I started my career as a QA engineer, then moved on to software development, then moved into architecture, led a group of people, and I honestly enjoyed my job there, but I had to take a break because I had my baby. And later on, I was looking for change, and I moved into design, and I fell in love with design, and
Okay.
especially the user experience design.
And now you're like heading the design in at Divami.
Yes, and I love my job.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate software development, but design just opens up the world to me. I'm very passionate about it because every day, every minute, you have a new problem to solve. It is very challenging at times, but it also opens up lots of doors. It gives me scope to meet different people. It helps me empathize and understand their ideas. I mean, there are really beautiful ideas out there that people are working on, and it just the wow factor gets added every day to
Yeah.
my job.
So, talking about Divami. Now, Divami is ranked among the top 5 agencies in India, and the interesting part is that they have done this just by references, by getting references from the clients. Now, that is taking agency game to the next level, firstly. And how do you do that?
Um, trust. Trust
Oh,
is what I would say.
okay.
So, like, what we believe in is that somebody trusted us to solve the problems for them. And their success means a lot to us. Their success is our success. So when until the pitch is done and until financials and other things are taken care of, it's a different game. But once we sign up a project, their project becomes our project,
Yeah.
and we really, really work very hard on making sure all the stakeholders' expectations are met while we are not compromising on the user-centric design, and the user expectations are also met. So even we even when there are differences in terms of timelines or other constraints, we work out with the stakeholder and we try to have discussions and make sure that they do understand where we are coming from at
Yeah.
times. So in short, it is trust. The stakeholders, as we are working, as the project is progressing, the stakeholders understand that we are working for the success of the project, and they start believing in us and they start trusting us and they take us seriously throughout the journey. And I guess in the end, they are happy with our approach, and they are happy with the quality of the designs and the quality of the development. And they always referred their friends and family, and also their professional clientele to us.
Well, that's really inspiring, though. Now, what's the next step for Devami? Like, what vision do you have for Devami? Let's say for next 5 years. I don't know. 5 years is a little short term, but anyway, what's your vision for Devami?
Tough one, I would say, in the next 5 years. At the same time, maintaining our culture. We are like a family here, and we understand as we are growing into a bigger organization, we just don't want to dilute our relationships within the team. For us, employees are equally important.
Yeah.
We all have to be like a family. At the same time, we have always focused on customers, and importance is always being given to them. So, somewhere we need to balance this up and keep growing.
So talking on the design front and on the technological front, how is Devami approaching and coping up with the fast change in the tech that is happening? Like there's technologies like augmented reality, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, and then there's no screen interfaces that are coming up right now. What is Devami doing to cope up with these things, this rapid change that is happening in the tech world?
Oh, we are honestly very excited about the change because it also makes our jobs interesting.
Yeah.
The team is really excited about the changes. Yes, there is a lot of stress and pressure to keep up with the rapid changes,
Yeah.
but we are all excited about it. Having said that, we do focus, apart from our daily regular projects, we also focus on research into this upcoming technologies. We do prototypes, and we want to make sure. End of the day, when a stakeholder approaches us with an idea and that demands the new technologies, we want to be in a comfortable situation where we honestly say yes. We have worked on prototypes, and here they are. However, we have not definitely worked on an enterprise. We have not worked on a client project per se.
Okay, all right. It was amazing speaking to you. This was a really knowledgeable podcast, I feel, and I hope to see you again soon so we can share some more thoughts.
Sure.
Thank you for having us here again.
Thanks
Yeah, it's
a
been
lot,
nice meeting you.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
thank you.
your time too.
Yeah, thank you.